Good afternoon, everybody. This was the part of the day I was looking forward to the most. The first thing I'd like to do is to welcome every one of you here today. I'm not going to say special guests, while we have some in attendance, because everyone here today is a special guest. Father Fitzsimons is probably the most special. When we started out discussing this venture, Mass was always going to be a part of it in the church, and then we began to think, how could we bring it over to the centre of our club? So as chairman, I got the short straw, and I was asked to contact Father Fitzsimons to see could we make this a reality. So instead of going straight to the main man, I went to two of his great helpers, and that's Stephen and Tom Lynn, and we discussed it, and they discussed it with Father Fitzsimons, and you can see the results of it today. It's just truly remarkable to see such a crowd of people from the entire parish here. So Father Fitzsimons, from the executive on my behalf, thank you very much for having the Mass here today. It means so much to us. It's a very special day, and you're a very special person in the parish. On behalf of the executive as well, a brilliant executive of the club that we have here, to welcome you all, and we hope you have a great day. There's one member of the executive that isn't with us today. He's been a member of this club as a treasurer for 30 years, and he's been the headmaster in the school for numerous years as well. Unfortunately, Donny has taken ill and he can't be with us today, but it would be remiss of me not to mention him and send him our best regards and a speedy recovery. So it's Donny Whelan. I mentioned some guests that we have here, and I'm delighted that we have the current chairman of Westmeath County Board, Frank Meskel. Again, a man that has huge connections with this club. As a teacher, as a player, he played with the club, great distinction, and as a manager. So I'm delighted that he's here with us, and he's going to say a few words later. As well as that, we have all the former chairmen of the club, of the county board before that, Sean Sheridan, Tom Farrell, Billy Foley, and again one man that's missing that can't be here unfortunately, who was an unbelievable friend of this club's, and that's, again, it would be remiss to go through today without mentioning him, and that's Seamus O'Fuelan. We also have the famous Pat Collins, former county secretary for years and very, very distinguished referee, and Pat Doherty from the county board to join us. And when I made the call to these men to see could they come and join us, I was taken aback by their gratefulness and their excitement about being part of this fantastic celebration. So we're very grateful to you all for coming here. We've Willie Penrose and Johnny Penrose, and we have Vinnie McCormack. Robert Troy couldn't come, and these are special people as well, because when we need our finances and we need our grants and we need help with various aspects of the club, we go to them, and they have always been so helpful. So we're delighted that they're among us here as well. I am under no illusions how grateful and honoured I am to be the sitting chairman of Milltown at this minute, because I can see 6 or 7 former chairmen of the club, and in their own right they're far more worthy to be up here than I am. So just to say thank you to them and their committees that have given us this facility that we have today through their hard work and dedication. This is a very special place, Milltown. You know, it's a very special club. So 100 years ago, a group of men came together And you know, you'd wonder at the time, did they realise the legacy they were creating and the legacy that they were going to hand down to us? It is truly remarkable what they did during tough times in Ireland at that time. Finances were nearly non-existent. They went from farmer to farmer. I heard great stories here today. They went from farmer to farmer looking for pitches to play their games. You know, and again, it would be remiss of me not to mention them, okay? We need proceedings to move on, but I can't move on without naming that group of men that is the reason we're all here today. And some of them had still connections with the club. So the chairman of the day, 100 years ago, was Paddy Bollesty. The secretary was Jim Murray. The treasurer was Jack McManus. County board delegates Billy Doolan and Peter Donoghue. The rest of the committee then was Andy McManus, Ned Doolan, Joe Donoghue, Jim Nally, Jim Donoghue, Pat Glennon, Anthony Sheehan, Jim McGrath, Mick Doolan and Jim Maguire. So these gentlemen are the reason we're all here today. They had the vision to come together and form what we have here today. You know, the legacy, when you look at the definition of a legacy is a lasting impact. It is a gift that is passed down through generations. So that's what they did. They gave us a gift. And all the committees since are just trying to nurture that and develop it and make it better. You know, why do we do it? Like, why do we give our time voluntary? Well, we were here last Monday night and we looked out onto the field and there was 30 children, about 13 years old. And you know, that's probably why we do it. The club gives us our identity. It gives us a sense of who we are. No matter where we go within the county to play games, into Cusick Park, no matter where we go in the world, somebody will always have heard of your club, Milltown. You know, it's so important to us. To me, the club is like an arm round every one of us. Because there's tough times for us all, and in those tough times, the club is always there to help out. It brings us together, a bit of unity. During the COVID times was a prime example as to the strength of the club in rural Ireland. It was the one that came back first. That's what people wanted, to get back, training, going to matches, watching their team. We as a club here came together, and any of the old people that got COVID, we looked after them, we got them their groceries, we brought it to them, we did their chores for them. That's what the club is about to me. And I thank everyone that did that at that time. It was just a given that we did it. At times of sadness and bereavements, club members may pass away. What did the club do? We formed the Guard of Honour. And from speaking to families, the comfort that brings, that family, is remarkable. Small little simple things like that. We laid the jersey on the coffin. That's rural Ireland, that's us, that's our identity. That's what we do. Just a small story about laying the jersey on the coffin. One of our very best characters and footballers passed away recently, Tom Gunnan. And as tradition goes, the number 8 jersey was draped on the coffin. And that was so apt, because he wore that with such distinction. But when the coffin was laid into the grave, the jersey went with it. And that's not the norm. But everybody, to a man in the parish, when they heard that, they said, well, that's the right place for that jersey, to go down with that great man. So, Frank, if we go out in Cusick Park at the championship and we're missing the number 8 jersey, don't sanction us. As I said, the club gives us identity and our pride. That's what we are all about. So, in the 100 years, Milltown GA have won 9 championships. You know, and you'd ask yourself, is that what it was all about? And personally, I think the championship wins were bonuses. But the club running for 100 years continuous, helping families, developing people, developing children, I think that's the real strength of the club. And the championships were the bonus. We hope to add to that this year. Maybe we'll make it 10 by winning the intermediate championship, but we'll see how that goes. In 1991, the next sitting committee purchased a piece of land, which is what we're on here now at the minute, and developed that. Again, during difficult and hard times, the centre was built, and we had our first game here in 1995, and we have the official opening in 2008, and again the facility was called after a great man, Sean Doolan. So we have to remember Sean here today as well. We have a very vibrant and successful ladies club. It was formed in 1994, winning championships every odd year. In 2015 they brought a huge honour to the parish and to the club in winning an All-Ireland Intermediate title, which is a massive achievement. The relationship between both men and women's club is absolutely steadfast. It's something that's very important to me and the committee, and we'll make sure that that stays like that and continue to grow. In preparation for the 100 years celebration, I was made aware that Milltown had a camogie team, an actual very good camogie team. So we catered for the ladies well as well. Then our underage structure is Millmore Gales. It was formed in 2000, and both clubs, Ballymore and Milltown, are really benefiting because of that. Just on a very personal note again, and maybe I get into trouble for mentioning other people's names, but coming from Emper, there wasn't an awful lot of footballers that came up from Emper to play, but I certainly wouldn't be standing here today. I certainly wouldn't ever have